This new camera I'm recording with is the Sony A6400. When I got it with this lens. It's 18 to 135 and this bitch is fire, I am not gonna lie. But the lens that I'm shooting with right now is a 16 mil, which is letting me get closer to everything, and it doesn't look grainy or anything, so that's fire. This 16 mil is definitely good for when I'm here in the studio. It honestly looks like you're looking at everything through my eyes, which is dope. Yeah, I'm gonna be using this one a little bit more for studio vlogs and, you know, shooting people's sessions. But what are we working on today? Let's see. I gotta make some final edits to this book that I'm editing. I have 6 chapters that I need to make edits for, but this is the thing. Whenever I work with a client and I'm doing some mixing, like some actual mixing, everybody gets one free revision from the mix. So, being that this is a book and the chapters are long, I sent her the rough drafts and I was like, hey, you know, listen to it. Let me know if there's anything I need to cut, anything I need to bring up before I do the final mix. The cool thing about it is she's giving me timestamps. So anytime that I'm working with somebody, I like detailed notes. If you're working with me and I did a mix for you, don't send me something like, hey, you need to bring the reverb up. That tells me like bring it up for the whole thing. So you got to tell me like, hey, you know, I kind of like this effect to sound a little bit higher here, a little less here. You know, it's difficult to communicate music via text or via email. So yes, everybody gets one free revision, but you got to be as detailed as possible with your notes. Other than that, I really prefer for people to like want to sit in on a mix. Like I can do mixes for people without them being here, but whenever I'm working with a new client, then I want to work with you at least 3 to 6 times with you in the room while I'm mixing before I do any mixes for you not being in the room, because I don't really know what your style is yet. I don't know what sound you like. I don't know what effects you like. So if you're one of those people who come in and, you know, we do a 2-hour session and for 2 hours we're recording, no, we're not gonna really get to dive into any mixing. So, you know, book another session for another hour, 2 hours just to listen to the mix and, you know, have your input on it. One, it'll help me hit the nail on the head a lot faster for you because I'll understand what you're looking for. I'll get to feel it out, because for me, music is more about feeling. Whenever I'm mixing, like I'll get everything to a good point technically, you know, level wise, structure, stuff like that. But once I'm there, then that's kind of where I start getting creative and I'm just feeling it at that point. I'm like, okay, I feel I need a drop here. I feel like I need some telephone effect here. I feel like I need heavy reverb here, whatever it is. I feel like I need more delays. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, full mixing takes a longer time, especially when I'm working with you for the first time or for the first few times. People who have been working with me for a while know a full mix for them can take me anywhere between 3 to like 8 hours. We listened to everything. We worked out all the kinks. We got everything sitting exactly where we want it. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about a quick mix like you're gonna play it in your car and you're gonna hear it right. If you're recording with me, then you're leaving with a pretty solid rough mix. Even if it's not mixed, you know, to the average ear, it's gonna sound pretty much done. If you guys are not using anything to back up your files, please, you know, invest in a OneDrive, invest in Google Drive, invest in Dropbox, invest in whatever the hell you want to invest in that's cloud storage, and learn how to use it. I use OneDrive, and for 1 terabyte for 5 devices or for 5 different accounts, I'm paying like $100 a year, I believe, and that's fire. That's 5 terabytes worth of stuff. I had a hard drive that had a bunch of important files, including original logo files for the Down to Chase brand, and fell one time, and after that, it didn't connect with my computer the same anymore. So rest in peace to my hard drive. But yeah, so I'm about to do these final edits for this book. Then I'm going to do some tweaks to a mix that I did recently. Like 7 edits on a song, because when you're working with me, I'm invested in your music just as much as you are. So if you're paying me for a full mix and I'm doing some revisions, I'm not gonna half-ass my revisions. At this point, you've already paid me, and if you're paying my full rate, then you're respecting me. And if you're respecting me, then I'm respecting you. And if I hear some other shit that needs to be done, it's gonna be done. And if it takes me longer, you would have never known. Let's say you paid me $100 for a mix, and you're thinking that it took an hour or 2 to mix it, when really I invested 8 hours into that bitch to get it to that point that you really liked. Once I do revisions, it's the same thing. I don't cut any shortcuts, and I will hope that, you know, the engineers in my network are doing the same thing. We all got bills to pay, bigger goals that we're trying to achieve, but let's not downplay the people who are seeing value in us right now. Their budgets might not be there, but it doesn't mean that it never will be. You know, their success is your success, and my success is their success. I'm definitely in the game of succeeding, so I'm gonna do right. I've been talking enough. These chapters are so long that it takes like just as long to press everything down. So for example, this chapter is a 13-minute chapter. So it just took me about 20 minutes to like do the edits I was gonna do on it, and it's gonna take me another 13 minutes to press it down. I want to say that I have enough time to finish editing this book and do the edits to this song before my session, assuming the session shows up on time. Alright, so I managed to get done with the chapters and it's 3 p.m. So that means I have 3 more hours. So I'm about to jump on this mix. Hopefully be done with the revisions within the next hour so that maybe I can edit some video that I have before the session. As of right now, I'm feeling optimistic that that's what's gonna happen. I was able to do that pretty quick. I'm not feeling any kind of tired, so we're good. One of my biggest pet peeves is trying to load up software and it not even coming up, man. Like, what's up? But Pro Tools does that a lot, unfortunately, man, and I still love Pro Tools. Pro Tools is my go-to for recording, mixing, and mastering. I am slowly coming to the conclusion that I can't use Pro Tools for producing, but recording, mixing, and mastering, hands down, best for me. I better not spend no 10 minutes trying to load up this session. I'm about to get mad as fuck. Come on, bro. What the fuck do I have on instrumental? Still not loading up. If it doesn't load up, then the thing I'm gonna have to do next is basically turn off all the plugins as I bring up the session and kind of start over. Not really start over, but it might as well be starting over. That's what happens for saying that I'm optimistic that I'm gonna be done before the session comes up. Every single time. Doesn't fail. Fuck it though. I ain't gonna be upset. And it fucking froze in the same spot. Alright. So now I know what the problem is. Except that I don't want this problem. Alright, so instrumental. Fuck it. Let's see if we can get away with not having to start over. So on Pro Tools, whenever you load up a session and it freezes up on a specific track, what you have to do is you have to load up the session with all the plugins turned off. And once that happens, then you need to take off the plugins on that track. So boom, take that shit off. Save it, close the session, and open it again. Except this time open it with the plugins turned on. And it should work. It should not freeze. And if it freezes again, then turn everything off. You throw your computer away. You throw your keyboard away. You throw your interface away. Your microphone. And you go back to working at McDonald's. Fuck it. And guess what? It worked. Alright, let's go. Fuck it. Alright, so I'm done with this mix. The only thing, there was one note. There's a section where she drew out one of the words a little longer than the rest of the song. It was for creative purposes, but she told me to take it off because the pitch sounds off. The only downside is that if I take it off, there's some delays there that if I take it off, it'll throw off the delays and it's not gonna sound as nice as they sound right now. So instead of taking it off, what I did was replace it with another one that sounded about similar, because she gave me plenty of layers to work with. Because I'm not entirely sold on what I did with it, I'm gonna give her one more revision, assuming that we need it. Personally, I like the delays that I did on that section, so I'm hoping that we can get away with just like swapping it out and maybe the pitch doesn't sound as off as it did initially. But if not, you know, the artist has the final say, especially when they're paying you for everything that you're doing. I can only add so much of my sauce as is welcome, you know, so let's just submit the mix, hopefully get the approval today, and that'll be it. It's about to be 4 p.m. I have yet to get confirmation from the artist I'm going to be linking up with at 6. I'm about to gather my thoughts and see what I hop on. Probably going to edit some video, but let's see what we get into. Video is really the easiest one for me to hop on because I always have video to work on. Sometimes I like to take some time and just review all of my files, all of my mixes. Make sure nothing has slipped through the cracks because it's on me. It is Sunday, so I'm not as stressed about that as much. Let's just get to working on some video. One of the toughest things about running a studio is not being able to be as creative as you would like to be. Sometimes I get so caught up in all the organizational, administrative, business side of it, I don't get to have as much fun, you know, creating, editing, mixing. I try not to let it get to me because whenever I do, I just try to get in the zone. Alright, so today's session never came through, but I did get to finish the chapters, I did get to finish the mix, I did get to finish this family footage video that I'm working on. Pretty successful day. It's about to be 8 p.m. I'm about to review a few files to see if I can get away with leaving early for the day. For those who don't know, besides recording, mixing, and mastering, I also offer photography and videography services. Sometimes people think that all I do is record, mix, and master, and they get me, you know, they get it confused. They think that I'm just here like sitting down at my desk waiting for them to come in for me to record them. No. Like I said before, if there isn't any money coming out of the recording, mixing, and mastering, then I'm gonna hustle where I can. Whether it be photography, videography, business advice, financial advice, or cutting somebody's yard, doing some basic mechanic work. I'm down, bro. I'm Mexican as fuck, and I ain't gonna deny it. I'm about to call it a day, so I appreciate you guys for tuning in as usual. Hope y'all are having a good 2022, and if not, don't trip, because I ain't having the best year so far either, but we ain't giving up on nothing, because life ain't stopping for nobody, so get back up and let's keep it moving, G. Take care.